Hi, I'm Lisa Raynes, founder of Pride Road, the architectural practice franchise, and I'm delighted to host these interviews with potential presidents, future presidents of the RIBA. So today, this is the last in our 4 interviews, and I'm delighted that Valeria's joined us. Valeria, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, everybody. My name is Valeria Passetti. I was born in Italy. I studied architecture in Florence. Have you probably seen my bio? I am a specialist conservation architect, and I work in a small multidisciplinary consultancy in Nottingham. So I am outside of London. And we specialize in heritage and conservation, but specifically my passion is restorative and regenerative design and conservation. So the next stage from sustainability. So you probably will hear me later talk about what we could do for the environment, even as a conservation architect. I would like to also let you know that I am the current Vice President membership. I was elected 3 years ago, so this is my 2nd term, so I've been elected twice. So the first time was in 2017, and then I was re-elected in 2019. My, as VP membership, I chair 2 main groups. The first one is the membership committee, and the second one is the Nation and Regions committee. The Nation and Region committee comprises all the regional representatives of the mainland UK, plus the president of the RSUA, RSW, and the president of RSUA, and the president of RIAS. Both the Northern Ireland and the Scottish president are guests of the committee. The committee also involves, as part of being a chair of the Nation and Region, I oversee all the international chapters that come under my umbrella. Currently, we have got 6 international chapters. We've got a chapter in Singapore, Hong Kong, Sri Lanka, Gulf, the US, and recently, very, very recent, about a couple of months ago, we welcomed a chapter in China.
Brilliant.
So,
thank you. We'll come back to that later. Rach, do you want to just add a couple more people in? So, Valeria, do you want to just tell us a bit more about your manifesto?
Yes, my manifesto is the result of the work I've been doing for the past 10 years with members. I have been involved from the grassroots. I'm a grassroots activist, really. I became involved 10 years ago because, like many RIBA members, I was very dissatisfied with what I perceived was the complete disconnection that the RIBA had with its members, especially the way I perceived it, being outside of London and not being in a big practice. And so I became involved with the local chapter. I was then elected regional chair for the East Midlands. I served 2 terms. And then after that, I was elected the vice president membership. I probably need to mention that as vice president membership, I sit on the board and council, and I'm now sitting on the new board, which is just being created since the change in our governance, and the approval of the governance in March, and I represent membership development. So all I've done in the past few years has been listening to members, connecting with members, and I've realized that whilst we are a membership institute, there is not really our members don't feel that there is a real attention to their needs and concerns. So the focus of my manifesto is really to put members back at the heart of the RIBA, make sure that their concerns are listened to, that we action and that we restore the respect and reputation of our profession, which has been incredibly marginalized in the last few years. This is really the reason why I'm standing. I think I've got the experience in terms of liaising with the membership. Also, I have got track record of delivering what I set out to do. I've done it as vice president of membership. That's why I've been elected twice. And I've been asked by our members to take it that step further, because there is a bit of a glass ceiling that probably I can't achieve everything as vice president of membership, but maybe I could achieve a lot more as president. So I thought, why not? Is a big challenge, but that is the main reason why I have decided to stand. My manifesto is made up of 3 distinctive actions: connect, include, and communicate. The connection part is because I believe that the strength of the RIBA, its members. And we have to strengthen the connection that members forge with the RIBA, but also forge with each other. We need to facilitate, we need to be the glue that keeps all these members together. Our members give a lot of their time for free. The majority of the work that is perceived by members and the public as done by the RIBA is actually done by our members. They get involved with schools, they create events, they create forums, they do so many things. And I think we need to provide them with the help and support they deserve. I believe that we should decentralize the resources of the RIBA and give more power and more strength to the regional offices, because for many, many members, the regional offices is where the RIBA really is the tangible part of the RIBA. It's not this remote idea of what is in London, this mysterious 66 Portland place that we all talk about, but seems to be quite remote. The actual regional offices provide that on-the-ground support. Also, they provide the link with the local authority. They provide the links with the planning authorities. They provide the link with the communities. And I think that there is so much that we can do in terms of lobbying to change things that matter to our members. One thing for all, we should lobby to ensure that every single local authority has got a design review panel. And the situation isn't the same in all over the country. We should have that reassurance that the future of architecture is in good hands, that good design, ethical design, sustainable design will be what is approved from now on. And we haven't got that. I want to make sure we do. So that's the first thing. The second thing is connection with our global membership. We have got members all over the world. I just mentioned the six chapters that we have, and more to come. More members in different parts of the world want to unite, and they want to do more for their members, and they want to connect with other members, because another strength is the connection, but also the knowledge sharing, the experience that we can all benefit from. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. So I would like to create a platform, a digital platform, which would enable our members to connect with each other whenever they want, and that to be behind the paywall. We need to strengthen the offer of CPDs and other resources and content online, so that again, mothers, carers that haven't got the time to do things at certain time. I've got 3-year-old twins. I could not, they take over every moment that I am not physically working. I want to be able to do my CPDs. I want to be able to upskill. And I wanted to be able to return to the profession when I took some time off after maternity, with the strength of the knowledge that I know the RIBA can provide me with, but it has got to be my own time.
So I think that takes us nicely on to the next question. So I'm just going to break in the conversation to let people in. So the Pride Road franchise model provides complete control and flexibility for its architects. What are the benefits of flexibility as far as you're concerned?
Well, flexibility is a huge part of my second call to action, which is the include. We need a profession, we need an institute that supports a profession that is able to attract and retain talent. We all know the terrible statistics when it comes especially to women and architects or students from disadvantaged or minority background. The reason why the situation is as it is because the practice model that we offer is a very static, and it's very static. It's not been changed for years and years and years. And it's still modeled on white, middle-aged, middle-class males that have got someone at home that can take care of everything else. Mm-hmm. And they can dedicate every hours they got sent to their office. That is no longer what we need, and really it's no longer what we should want. We shouldn't obey this sort of completely obsolete type of models. We should ask for a better life and work balance. We need to start talking about the benefits of well-being, of mental health, of having the flexibility to realize yourself as a professional without having to sacrifice anything else. I was talking to students. Again, I love to talk to our members because I love to listen to them. And sometimes we're on transmit, and their IBA is very good at transmitting. It's very good on one-way communication. It's a pyramid. It comes down and it tells us what we should be doing and we should be thinking. I believe it should work both ways, but mostly it should be from the ground up. We should listen. If we are to progress, we must listen. So talking to students and associates, one of the things that was really shocking for me is that I'm a relatively old woman. And I thought that the sacrifices and the consideration that I had to make when I was in my 20s were a thing of the past. And then I realized that 20-year-olds now are questioning whether they can afford a career in architecture or whether they want to have a family. That should not be a binary decision. That should be, we should have worked harder not to get to 20 years down the line and still having to ask the same question. But I'm an optimist, and I believe that if there is a will, there is a way. And what we need is stop talking and start doing.
Absolutely. So I think that takes me on to my next question. Well, do you have any questions?
Yes.
And before we go on to that, can I just ask if anyone in the audience has got a question? Can you post it in the chat and I'll pose that shortly?
Yes, I've got a question for you because, as I said, unfortunately, you're probably not 20 years, but good 15 years too late for me because I was in a situation. I found myself newly divorced with a very small child. My divorce wasn't a nice one, but I don't think anybody can say that they have a nice divorce. But let's say some people are probably luckier. So it wasn't a good divorce. I found myself with a very small child and basically unemployable. I had taken time off. I was doing other things with my then husband. And so I was unemployable. I was a woman alone with a small child. And I had to, at the time, I had to make the only choice that I could make for survival was to set up on my own, start my own self-employment adventure. And then it just went from there. I work for a multi-disciplinary consultancy as an external. I suffer some exploitation in the system because, again, you are alone. I was terrified of doing this alone. I didn't know where my clients were going to come from. I felt that I didn't have a safety net. I didn't have a network. I didn't have any support. Now you and your brilliant idea, your brilliant concept would have been ideal for me. Absolutely ideal. So tell me more. What someone, the Valeria of today, what could they do? What would be something, your advice, but also, how can they join your network?
Thank you. Yeah, so I think we would like to position ourselves as the third option, something that falls in between working for a large practice or someone else, and between, on the other hand, setting up on your own and then just having to carry all those risks. And so I'd say we're somewhere in the middle, a third option. And what we do is we provide that umbrella support for people who want to set up on their own. They want their own business. They want to pave their own way. And with joining Pride Road, you get a full umbrella of support that includes sales training, because I constantly get people asking me about how to build confidence. We get lead generation, so through website and SEO, pre-established sort of Google rankings. We provide an online portfolio, so you can use our work, so you've got an instant presence. And then you've got the technical backup. So we just do domestic extensions, but we've got a technical team behind us that you can come and talk to. We provide specific CPD, so you're just never alone. And I think what's quite key is the fact that, we're kind of a larger organisation than one, but we're not massive. There's just 3 franchisees at the moment. We're just on the verge of kind of growing, but you've got all that combined marketing strength, community support, and we can help you. So a little bit of marketing money goes a long way. So you don't have to go out and spend a huge sum of money creating a website or on SEO or social media or finding a life coach, because it's all included. So there you go. Does that answer your question?
Oh, absolutely. And I'm fascinated because we know that architectural education is not preparing our future architects and future colleagues to enter the profession confidently. One of the things that talking to a student and associate came up over and over again is the fact that business and practical studies and practical practice are only taught in part 3. So they're crammed in a very, very small space of time, where along with a lot more content, more technical details, when it should be really spread at least between the part 2 and part 3, so in a sort of hybrid.
Well, absolutely. When you set up on your own, you just don't know the difference between. We don't know what an accountant does. You don't know what's a historical record and a forecast.
A business plan.
A business plan, a cash flow forecast, profit and loss.
I know. It's so daunting, and it's daunting. I love what you said, and we have to, as women, we have to accept this. We lack in general. Of course, obviously we can't generalize, but let's say that women seems to be less confident than men when it comes to a lot of things, business being one of them. And they will self-doubt and they will feel exposed. A woman is not everything to be able to go and front, let's say, a sale. A man will know 20% and chance it. It's that sort of the inherent differences. So for a lot of women who then in this day and age are still the main carers, are still the main providers for children, to have that ability, to have the flexibility to look after your family and still have your career, but also have that knowledge, background knowledge and support, I'm sure they must find it really useful. And I really, really have to say you had a fantastic project you carried out, and I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud of you, Lisa.
Thank you. So coming back to your RIBA campaign, what would you say, because we know that it's very easy to get sidetracked once you're in role as president in the RIBA. So do you have, and before you start, I'm going to just let someone else into the waiting room. Oh no, they've gone. So if you had a single agenda item that you were trying to push through, what would it be?
Well, as I said, the first and foremost is the decentralization of, it would be a two sides one. I think it would be the decentralization of resources, but that would mean also resources online. So there is a physical decentralization, but there is also the ability to reach and support our members wherever they are in the world.
You know how you do that?
Yes, and I think there's something that nobody else can say in this campaign. I'm actually a member of the board, and I will be a member of the board in my role as membership development until September 2021. So all through my year as president-elect, if I'm elected, I will be working with the board. And therefore, I think I would be able to be ready in a way that it will allow me in 2021 to actually be able to start delivering what needs to be done. As I say, for me, we need the RIBA needs to be many things. But first and foremost, it needs to be the members' institute that is supposed to be, and start putting members and their needs at the heart of it, because everything else will come. If you allow the members to be the best they can possibly be, if you allow them to upskill, if you support them in any challenge they may face. We've got the climate challenge, we've seen the health emergency challenge. All of these things, there could be resources that the RIBA creates. And actually, truth to be told, the RIBA creates a huge amount of resources, constantly updating the content, but sometimes not listening and not being responsive to what the member actually need. If it was more responsiveness, if it was a more two-way communication, so that the content was provided for the issues that are actually affecting our membership, I think we could move forward confidently and be able to make all the changes in society that we as architects can make, because we really can do a lot. We are closer to our communities. Our work can have the most positive impact on our community. And we can really do a lot for the things that everybody talks about, from the climate emergency, the health, the well-being in general, the mental health issues, down to diversity and inclusion, we can show so much and impact on society so much. So I think it would be great if we were allowed to do that.
And I think it's great to see that you've worked your way up through the RIBA, from local groups through to the headquarters. How long has it taken you to do that?
Well, over 10 years. I started as a member of the local branch, was the Nottingham and Derby Society of Architects. Then I was elected vice president, and then I was elected president for 2 terms. And then after the 2 terms as president, I was elected regional chair for the East Midland. And as part of my role as chair of the East Midland, I sat on the Nation and Region Committee and realized the potential that that committee could have to really positively impact the experience the members were having. It's really like, it's a great forum, is a great minds, you know, around the table. It's like the meeting of clans. We get together, we brainstorm, we come up with great ideas. And I was elected twice. And as I said, my second term, or the first year of my second term, so my role as VP membership and member of the board as membership development, which is related and not related. I was a member of the old board ex officio. So as VP membership, I was part of the board. I was automatically access a seat on the board. In the new board, it doesn't work like that. You have to go through an interview process, and there were other candidates, and it's really a case of whether I had the right experience, whether I had the right attitude, whether I had the right leadership skills to be part of the new board, which is based on a very, very strict skill matrix. So I'm pleased to say that I was successful, and I have now been a member of the new board for best part of 2 months. So it's very recent, but it's a very exciting time for the RIBA, because now we have got a board that will take care of the running, day-to-day running of the institute with the executive. And now we've got a council that is free to discuss the things that matter to all of us. You know, the strategic direction, the role of architects in society, the things that we need to take a stance and be very firm. You know, things that happen from which we've been excluded, like the housing, housing standards, permitted development rights that have been extended, and we are at the receiving end, but we haven't had much of a chance to input into. So we can do that now, and hopefully the voice of council will be very strong. And if you have a very, very strong but collaborative leadership, which I believe in collaboration, I believe in participation. I always say my choices, what I stand for is there's a summary of everybody else that stands for. It's not my idea, is what comes out of us as the member. Even my manifesto is choral. I've asked all my nominators to input into my manifesto. So I do believe that with a strongly but participative leadership, we can achieve so much more as the voice of architecture.
Well, thank you very much. We've come to the end of the session, so thank you very much for coming and joining us. And the campaign period ends, I think, at midnight tonight.
It does.
And voting opens tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
When does voting finish?
The voting starts tomorrow morning at 9 and closes on the 4th of August at 5 o'clock.
Okay.
All voting is done online. We need to remind people because it's the first time voting is done exclusively online. So it's important that members keep up with their communication with their IBA and their registration on architecture.com.
Yes, and for the first time, students can vote as well.
The first time students and associates can vote. And I really hope that we will see a higher turnout of voters than we have seen in recent years. It would be great to see that there is increased participation. Yes. We need it.
We do. Well, thank you very much, Valeria, for joining this interview, and good luck.
Thank you for having me, Lisa. Always a pleasure. Thank you.